All right, so welcome. Um, just letting you all know we have chair yoga coming up, but beginning next week. I know we had dropped off a few people with the summer with chair yoga for the Zoom classes. So I'm happy to say I think we're going to get our group back beginning next week. If you want to join us on Zoom um, for the live class, a little bit more interaction than just watching on Facebook Live. We're going to be back on Zoom. So, yay! Join us next week. So, for now, we are going to do our chair yoga. I'm just waiting. I know Jim was just on. He was going to hop on, he and Margie. And we'll get ourselves going. Okay. All right, beautiful fall day out there. Maybe our joints are stiffening up a little bit with the colder weather, so we'll get moving around and loosen those joints and muscles up. So find yourself in your chair. Usually a chair without arms is best, but if you do need to have a chair with arms, that's fine too. So go ahead and close your eyes. Hi, Jim and Margie. If you are watching on this right now, just give us a click with a like so that we know that you're on there. And like I said, we will resume with our Zoom classes next Wednesday for chair yoga, same time. And I can leave instructions on here how to do that. So now let's really get started. Close your eyes. And let's begin by taking a big deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Again, big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go. Really make your voice audible. You're going to take 3 more big full breaths on your own. Nice big full breaths, breathing in with your belly, your ribs, your chest, filling it all up. Pausing at the top and then exhaling completely. Notice where the air fills the space. And notice any tension leaving as you exhale. And now scan your body, beginning at the top of your head. Just notice any sensations that you're feeling. Any tightness in your face, maybe in your jaw, maybe opening up your mouth and then moving your jaw side to side. Notice if you can hear any little noises that maybe is coming from your mouth, your jaw, just really being fully aware of the sounds coming from your body. Not judging, just noticing, observing. And bringing awareness to your shoulders. Drawing those shoulders down and away from your ears. Feeling a big sense of space. Maybe if they're tight, feeling that they're tight and recognizing that, acknowledging that. And then awareness down each of your arms. Any aches, any pains, any stiffness. Again, just acknowledging. Opening your hands nice and wide and making fists. Again, listening to the sounds your body's making. My hands are cracking. Maybe the right one a little bit more than the left. My dominant hand. Shaking them out, releasing them down. And bringing awareness to your chest. And notice the rise and fall of your chest as you're breathing in and out. Notice the quality of your breath this morning. Is the air that's entering your nostrils, is it maybe a little bit cooler than it's been? 90-degree weather is gone. Maybe it's a little easier to breathe. A little more invigorating with the cool air as it goes down your throat. And then bring awareness to your hips and your sitting bones. Awareness what you're sitting on, your chair. Is it hard? Is it cold? Is it soft? And then awareness of each of your legs. Again, any tension, any tenderness, any aches this morning. Just observing. All the way down to your feet. Maybe lifting up your toes inside of your shoes if you have your shoes on, or if you have your shoes off, even better. Wiggling those toes around, and then gently placing them down on the ground one at a time. And now being fully aware of the sensations in your body. Just recognizing for the next 40 minutes, 35 minutes, however long. There's nowhere to go, there's nothing to do, and we're just going to be noticing and observing the sensations in our body as we move and as we bring breath to those parts of our body. Bring your arms down by your side, again lengthening your shoulders, and inhale, lift on up, big breath in. Open your chest, your ribs. Arms come down as you exhale. Again, breath in. Exhale down. Again, listening to the sounds your body's making. So are your shoulders, now that they're moving, do you hear any noises from your shoulders, from your arms? And maybe it's just the fabric moving from your clothing. Do you actually hear the cricks and the creaks in your joints? It's okay, I do too. One more breath up. Exhale, come on down. All right, now with this integrity in our body, long spine, crown of our head lifting on up to the ceiling, belly pulled in. Make sure you're pulled away from your chair so you're not relying on the chair to support you. You're engaging your muscles in your core, in your legs, all of them. Left hand over to your right knee, and then reaching that right arm around behind you, trying to keep your knees straight. So if your right leg pulls back as you twist, try to keep that in line, and maybe that means you don't twist as far. A nice gentle twist over to the right. Shoulders continue to drop down and away from your ears. Continue to breathe and notice the quality of your breath here. And listen to the sound of your breath. Notice if there's any other sounds, the ambient sounds in the room with you. Maybe traffic going by, or the clock ticking. Just be present in this moment right here. And present to the sensations that you're feeling. So don't get so distracted by those other sounds. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale. Next, inhale, belly pulls in. Bring that right arm around and take a cat curl with your spine. Round on through. Really envision, maybe starting nice and slow, and envision that stretch beginning at the base of your tailbone. And as you curl, each of the spaces in your back expands. And maybe your elbows pull apart and the space between your collarbones, or rather your shoulder blades, expands. And as you breathe in, notice that expansion again. Maybe bringing in the Ujjayi breath in through your nose and out through your nose, creating a little restriction at the base of your throat, making a nice loud audible breath. Inhale, lift on up. Good, right arm stays right where it's at. Left arm as your belly pulls in, twisting to the left. And all the same cues applied on this side. So maybe now your left hip, your left knee is coming back a little. So pull that left hip forward, draw your right hip back. Knees in line. Keep reaching the crown of your head on up to the ceiling. And maybe you can twist a little deeper. Belly pulls in. As you inhale, come around. Left arm reaches around. And, bless you, curl your spine. Maybe even a little rocking side to side. Notice what you hear here. So I'm hearing the ticking of the clock in the background, but I also have the chair as I move. It's making little noises. My belly's making noises. Come to stillness. Come on up. Uncross your arms. Legs are hips width apart here. We're going to take some cat and cow curls. So arms come to your knees. Inhale, lift on up. Open your chest, open your throat. Take in all that good air. Exhale, curl your spine. Elbows might round a little forward. Inhale, full breath in. Exhale and curl. Inhale, big, full, loud breaths in. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lift on up. Exhale, curl. Last one, nice big full, the fullest breath yet. And emptying it all out. And back up to seated. Bring some circles to our shoulders. Are they making noises still? Or do they feel a little different when we started with this? Maybe one shoulder and then the other. Feel any different? Maybe, maybe not. No big deal. All right, let's take our right leg. We're going to cross it on over our left, making sure we get that ankle bone to pass over if we can, so we're not digging it in to our leg. Keep that right foot flexed. And just drop your elbow, drop your knee on down. Breath in. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Breath in. Reach the crown of your head on up to the ceiling. Exhale. Inhale. And as you exhale, fold on over that front leg. Nice and slow, no rush. See if you can continually move right to that gentle edge. Keep your head in line with your spine. And maybe you can just very slowly continue to just drop your body down towards your leg. Keep that foot flexed and breathe. What do you hear while you are here? Can you sink a little bit more? Inhale, lift on out. All right, I'm going to take that leg and we're just going to hug it on in. So whatever that looks like to you, maybe rock it a little side to side. So if you're really flexible, you might be able to take your arm and cradle your leg on in. And if you're just here, this is great too. So there's all kinds of possibilities. We all have different bodies. Our bodies can all do different things. So whatever it looks like for you, just go with what works. Release that leg down. Actually, let's stretch that leg long. Flex your foot. And let's make some circles with that right ankle. One way, and then the other. Notice what the rest of your body's done. And relax that down. Left leg comes up. And we're just going to be here for a few breaths. So no rush in folding over just yet. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If your eyes are open, find a drishti. Find that fixed point to gaze at so your eyes aren't darting everywhere. Inhale. Exhale, sink your shoulders. Inhale again, reaching the crown of your head on up, long spine. And as you exhale, slowly folding over that lifted leg. Notice where you're feeling this. So all kinds of places, sensations going on here. Maybe your tailbone, maybe your inside of your hip. Definitely a hip opener here, that IT band. Make sure you have that lifted foot flexed. Shoulders keep pulling away from your ears so we're not scrunching our shoulders into anything. And we're breathing. And see if on this side you can melt yourself down. Nice, slow, steady, continuously melting down. And just because you did something on one side does not mean you have to do it on the other. Inhale, lift on up. And then again, we're going to grab this leg here. And if you want to hug it in, if you want to cradle it into your arm, side to side. All right, release your leg on down. Left leg comes on out. Again, pull away from the chair so we're not relying on the chair. We're going to use our core. Left leg comes up, sitting nice and tall, shoulders down. little circles, one direction and the other. And release it down. Okay, arms down by our side. Inhale, breath in. Exhale, temple your fingers, shoulders sink in. Our knees come together, our feet come together here. Big breath in. Exhale, tilt to the right. Feel a nice opening in your side body. And then continue to pull yourself up and away so that your ear and your bicep are in line with one another. Maybe your gaze lifts towards that upper arm. And then maybe you can continue to dip a little more. Maybe pressing down more with your left butt cheek into your seat, creating more of an intense stretch. And just breathing. Inhale brings you back to center. Sink your shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale over to the left. Check your knees in line. Keep drawing that top arm back over your biceps so we're not opening, we're not crunching our chest. Big opening in that side body. Again, keep peeling on open. Right butt cheek presses down into the seat. And you're breathing here. Notice what happened with your breath in this position. A little bit more difficult to breathe. So we just breathe one breath at a time. Nice, slow, steady breaths. Inhale, come on up to center. Exhale, sink those shoulders again. Inhale. Exhale, arms wide. Arms come down to your sacrum, pressing them in. Fingers spin down. Shoulders draw back. Elbows pulling towards one another. Again, those knees hug in to one another. Inhale, lift up. Open your chest. Open your shoulder up to the ceiling. Continue to drop your shoulders down. I'm going to stay here for 3 full deep breaths in and out. 3-part breath, breathing into your belly, your ribs, your chest, pausing and then emptying completely. And your last one, inhale, come up. Exhale, knees together, fold right over those thighs. Arms are going to come down by your side and your head, hands covered. Feel your breath on your thighs. Inhale, hands come to your shins, lift up halfway. Create a long spine, so the top of your head's pressing towards the front of the room, your tailbones pressing towards the back. Shoulders again, draw back. Breath in. Exhale, fold over your knees again. Let it go. On your next inhale, arms come wide. Lift on up. Exhale, hands come to prayer right through heart center. Eyes closed down. Through your nose, take a big deep breath in. Open your mouth, exhale. One more, just like that. Big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth. Exhale. Eyes softly open. Arms down by your side. And then do this again. Inhale, lift on up. Fingers temples, shoulders sit in or legs are together. Inhale. Exhale to the left. Notice how this feels different. Now bringing awareness to the space that's been created and envisioning it, you can grow that space. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, opposite side. And aware of the sounds around you. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, arms wide. Right to your sacrum, scooching forward. Inhale, lift up, chest is open, throat is open. Through your nose, breathe in. Open your mouth, exhale. One more breath in. As we exhale, bring your legs forward and fall over your belly onto your thighs, nice and easy. See how deeply you can relax here? Inhale, hands to shins, lift on up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms wide all the way up. Exhale, hands come to prayer right through heart center, eyes closed down. Press your thumb knuckles into your sternum. Really feel your breath as you take a big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale. One more, just like that. Big breath in. Exhale. Arms down by your side. If you have a strap, I forgot to mention that at the beginning, strap, tie, kitchen towel, pillowcase, whatever you got, belt, grab that. And bend our right knee, put the strap around the ball of your toe, sinking on back. Not back, leaning back. We're still using that core. Left leg is facing forward. Relax our arms down. Right foot is active. Really press your foot into that strap. Do not lock your knee. And then pull the strap in. Feeling that hip, the socket and the ball, really connecting. Both straps into your right hand and keeping that left leg forward, begin to open on up your right leg. So notice here, I think this is one good thing I do like about the having the videos is I can see what I'm doing and I know, oh, I need to adjust that. So, it might be something like if you're ever watching and you can look in a mirror for yourself, you can see how maybe things are out of line. So it is a good reminder. It's also good to just be aware of your body, and after a while you can feel when things just aren't right if you do this enough. You've lost your integrity. And there's no judgment around it, just bring it back. Maybe you can open up a little bit more in that thigh, our abductors. Lift a little higher. Bring it back across your body, straps into your left hand. Keep that foot flexed and active. Back to center, strap in each hand. And then tip your pinky toe down. Back to center. And then dip your big toe down. Back to center. Bend your knee, release the strap. You can take your leg and just give yourself a little circle, one way and the other. And listen to the sounds. You know, what are you hearing? The strap that clanks against the chair, the clothes that rub against themselves. And down we go. Left side. Bend your knee. There's that good pop every time. I don't know if you can hear that. All right, left foot is flexed, facing straight ahead. Same thing, shoulders are down. Really engage your left leg and then give a little pull. Feel your hips sink right in that socket. Don't lock that knee. Both straps into your left hand, keeping yourself forward, just opening up in the left. Shoulders continue to relax down. Foot is flexed and active, even still here, and you're breathing. If your eyes are open, again, gaze straight forward. Come back to center. Straps into your right hand and slightly across your body here. Back to center. One strap into each hand, leg is engaged. Left foot dips down 45 degrees for the pinky toe. Back to center, and the big toe dips down. Back to center, bend your knee, release the strap, and put by your side. And we're gonna just take that leg in either in the front of your shin, the back of your leg, one way and then the other. And what sounds are you hearing? What sensations are you feeling? Right, release it down. So I noticed I kind of went back and I could feel the cool of the chair and I kind of gave up on the rest of everything. Get it back together. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, really pulling away from the chair. We're going to do our goddess pose. So just heel toeing our feet as wide as we can go, sitting up nice and tall. Toes are in line with our knees, pointing in the same direction. And maybe you can scoot a little bit more. Sit up nice and tall. Let's just leave with just our legs here for now. We have arms to add in, but continue to lift your crown of your head on up. Keep pressing your sitting bones into the chair, and then take your outer knees, and you're going to pull your outer knees back behind you. So if your knees are caving in, we're going to keep pulling them back. Feel something just engage there. And then maybe you can heel toe your feet a little bit wider. Did you kind of just land in a comfort zone and say, hey, this is great. There's nothing to this. So maybe push yourself just a little bit. Arms come on up, right out from our sockets. Elbows bend 90 degrees. Fingers, spread them wide. And then find your drishti. Find a gazing point right straight ahead. And breathe. In through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale. Have your knees collapsed in. Keep pulling your knees back. Inhale. Exhale. Are you gritting your teeth? Inhale. Exhale, knees pull back. one. Big breath in. Exhale, release your arms down. Heel toe your legs right back in. Nice work. All right, so we're gonna rock on up to standing here. If you want to put your chair behind you, you can put your chair behind you. If you need to have something around you to hold on to for stability, go ahead. But we're gonna build mountain. Standing up nice and tall, both feet flat on the floor. Feet are at 12 o'clock, hips width apart. And we know we begin to ignite from the ground on up, soft bend in our knees. Pelvis is neutral, hips are square. Arms can come down by our side, Samastiti He. Shoulders keep drawing away. Crown of the head lifting up. Really pressing the four corners of your feet into the ground, creating that stability. Take a breath in. Exhale. Next inhale, arms come on up. Shoulders sink into your sockets. Fingers are spread wide. Keeping that integrity in your legs and the rest of your body. Inhale. Exhale. Sink on down as though you're going to sit into the chair behind you. You're just sliding on down, bending your knees. Breath in. Exhale. Gaze is straight ahead. Inhale. Exhale, maybe you can sink a little bit more. So you probably are really feeling your quads, the big muscles at the fronts of your legs, and getting this lean sensation. So just breathe through it. Maybe your calves at the back of your legs, your hamstrings. Breath in. Breath out. One more, big breath in. Exhale. Oh, come straight up. Bring your hands to prayer. Very good. And press your thumb knuckles into your sternum. Really feel the rise and fall of your chest. And notice if your heart rate has quickened just a little bit here. You feel a little thump, thump, thump. Good. Arms down by our sides. You can open your eyes. We're going to shift our weight onto our left foot. Right foot comes up, and we're going to take tree from here. So our balancing. If you have the chair around you and you want to do this behind your chair so you have that stability if you need it, you can do that. But trust yourself. You can do this. So you can leave your toe on the ground, or you can bring your foot up to the inside of your leg. Press your leg into your foot into your leg, so they're both pressing into one another. And then peel your knee back. We're opening our hips here. And then check your hip is square. So you can maybe put your hands on your hips. You could bring your hands to prayer. Play with that stability. If your leg has to come down, just bring it back up. Maybe if you're feeling wild and crazy, we can grow our tree. Hands come back down to prayer. Right leg hits the ground. So close your eyes again. Notice the sensation of 2 feet firmly planted on the ground. Take a breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Arms down by our sides. I'm going to shift over to the right, emptying out that left leg. Left leg comes up, and we press the sole of our left foot into our right leg. And you have the chair maybe around you. If you're behind the chair, this works behind the chair. Keep drawing that left leg back. Maybe hands to prayer. Or maybe you grow your tree. And just because you did it on one side, again, doesn't mean you have to do it on the other. Maybe you're just playing around with getting that foot up off the ground. Or maybe you just go for it and say, I can do this. I got this. Breath in. Exhale, foot to the floor, hands to prayer. Wowzers, today flew by. All right, let's have a seat. That's it for standing. Wow, okay. Time flies when you're having fun. All right, let's sit back into our chair. We're going to head into Shavasana. If there's anything else you wanted to do, you can do that on your own. And we'll just take a brief Shavasana here. But again, if there's any other poses that you want to do at home, you've been watching the videos, you've been doing this with me before, go ahead and do those. Just because I end now, and you don't have to if you want to keep going. Do a quick guided Shavasana. Extend your legs, relax your arms by your side. Actually feel the chair underneath you here. Maybe after standing, if you have like me, I have a metal chair, it's a little cooler than it was before. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale it out. And just like when you first sat down in your chair, scan your body from the top of your head, down to each of your arms, your torso, your legs. Just check in with yourself now. Where are you feeling space that you didn't feel space before? Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Make some circles with your wrist one way, then the other. And wiggle your toes. Do a little circle with your ankle. Press yourself back on up, pulling away from the chair. Hands come to prayer right at heart center. Your eyes close down. Press your thumb knuckles into your sternum. Take a big breath in through your nose. Feel your chest rise. Open your mouth. Sigh it out. Exhale. And then carry those thumbs to your forehead, to your heart center. And together we'll bow and say to one another, Namaste. All right, so I hope you have a great day. And remember, next week, for those of you that want to do Zoom, I'm going to put information on the page here about how to get onto Zoom so you can join us for Zoom. It's also going to be, yeah, you all know Zoom. So we'll be back next week. All right, take care. Bye.